Hey, what's up, everyone? Hopefully, I am live. Let me double check and make sure everything's good. This wasn't supposed to happen for like another 40 minutes or 30 minutes or so. But of course, like all things lately, everything either gets leaked out or released early. And so, yeah, it looks like. But of course, like all things. Yep. All right, good. We're live. So, what I have pulled up here is my Instagram, or at least Todd McFarlane's Instagram. And I figure what we'll do is we'll check out this news. So he said it's very big news. Now, I think a lot of people assume that when something's big news, that it's some kind of movie announcement. We had already got a movie announcement from Spawn, like from McFarlane a while ago, actually. I think maybe even over a year ago now. And it was, him saying that Jamie Foxx was going to play Spawn, and they had Jeremy Renner that was going to be in it. And they had all these plans for the movie, but I wasn't expecting this to be a movie announcement. And it turns out I may be right. I haven't watched any of this yet. It's pulled up now. But as you can see from Son of Malbolgia, which is someone who I follow on Instagram, they have a comment at the top here. And it says, I guess this is cool. Was hoping for a movie announcement, kind of underwhelmed. So again, that's why I bring that up. Is because I wasn't anticipating a movie announcement. I feel like that would have I don't know. I don't think that would have just been announced on his Instagram as like a teaser. So I don't know what this is going to be. What's up, dude? I expected something Spawn movie disappointing the same, but new figures are coming. So yeah, you're just spoiling it for me. So I don't know what this is. I knew it was going to be a big announcement, but I didn't know exactly what the announcement was going to be. So now you're telling me it's figures. Okay, so that's what I was trying to avoid was spoilers, but that's okay. That's not a big deal. I knew it wasn't going to be movie related though, because like I said, I was like, he's announcing it privately on his page. And it's like this, hand drawn, like big news tomorrow kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, I don't anticipate that being movie news. So my hopes weren't up for movie news. But now that I see that comment and your comment, now it's not movie news. So my expectations are way lower. But I guess this is for some new figures. So I figure we'll go ahead and watch this and talk about it. So let's go ahead and expand that. And then we'll check it out.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for having me. I want to make
he's got the album back there framed, which is cool.
2021 is going to be the year of Spawn.
All right, the year of Spawn. What are we going to get this year?
Is, why am I here?
I'm
about to give you.
Is that a new Violator figure?
The single biggest news that I can announce.
Those look great back there.
Comic books, and more importantly, the release.
What's up, Shadow Killer? What's up?
I don't say that lightly.
All right, Israel, let's sit here. Let's watch this. Let's see what's going on.
Because this plan that I have is not just for now. It is a decades-long plan, and I've been thinking about it for a long time. So let's talk about it. Well, I am going to make 2021 the year of Spawn.
All right, so here, let me pause it for a second. So that's interesting. So he's saying this is a decade-long plan, and I'm kind of curious about that because I participated in his Kickstarter last year. That was huge. He was asking for $300,000 from people to make a Spawn figure, to remake a Spawn figure, to remake his first Spawn figure, and from way back in the 90s where it was Todd Toys, and he raised almost $3 million. So that shows you the power of that franchise. Like that really put Spawn back on the map. Every time there's a movie announcement too, people get hyped up for it. There's a lot of people that crawl out of the, their lives, like they crawl away from the real world and they go, whoa, Spawn, what's going on with Spawn? I think a lot of people have very fond memories of that character. I have never stopped reading about the character. I've been reading, for him, reading about him, but of him for 314 issues now. So I'm a big Spawn fan, and I did get some Kickstarter figures from McFarlane last year, and I buy a lot of his DC stuff. So like, this shelf is full, 2 shelves over there. I got pretty much most of the DC figures that he makes. You're not a fan of Spawn, but you love watching? Well, I appreciate you being here, man. Thank you for coming in. I love Spawn. I think he's a great character. So Year of Spawn, this is year 1 of a 10-year plan. Let's see what that's all about.
You and I have been partners since 1992 on the Spawn comic book for over 315 issues.
Yeah.
I just put to bed the other day.
Yeah, I was going to say 315 is not on the shelf yet.
You and I have been going down this path called Spawn. And there's been a resurgence of it 300,
Yeah.
second biggest selling book.
I
in the
know.
entire year.
I have like, I don't buy variant covers, but I have like 6 copies of 300, and I think I have like 5 copies of 301.
Up anywhere between 200 to 400%. But
Yeah.
here's the downside. Number one is that you can only come into your shop once a month if you're a Spawn fan.
Right.
And number two, if you're less than 28 years old, you've never had an opportunity to buy a Spawn number 1. I'm going to correct both of those in 2021, this year, for both of us. So how's that going to work? I'm going to do a one-shot that is going to launch what I am just calling simply Spawn's universe.
All right.
And from that is going to spill the reason for the other 3 monthly books that I'm going to talk about. So there will be a one-shot that is going to launch it. Number 1.
No.
From that will be 3 new monthly books.
4 monthly Spawn books?
So let's start at the beginning.
Oh, no. Okay, now I'm really excited. What?
Spawn's universe number 1.
Okay.
It's going to have multiple chapters, multiple teams, and it's going to basically be the impetus.
Yeah, no movie news on this one, but that's okay.
Publishing venture.
This I like a lot more. Because recently in the comics they've been doing the Spawnverse. It's been like Venomverse and Spider-Verse. Like there's multiple Spawns now.
We launch big and we launch hard.
Oh, I love this.
You get quality, you get good people, you get good stories, and you get good characters.
Okay.
So let's start at the very beginning. The quality of the characters.
I'm so pumped. Is Gunslinger Spawn getting his own book?
Because that's what matters to a lot of people. So who do we have on board?
Yes.
Let me just give you a partial list of the people that have already said yes to doing some work within the books. I
have a feeling Donny Cates.
Art Adams never even touched the page of Spawn in his life.
Art Adams?
I'm really excited about him. Carlo Barbary.
I love Carlo Barbary. He's currently drawing Spawn right now. It's so good. I love his stuff.
You should. It's superhero classic looking stuff, and he's helping to basically keep the sales of that book up. Brett Booth, one of the Brett Booth, the kids that was there at the beginning of the foundation.
Yeah.
Is going to come on and do a couple covers, and I'm going to ink over them, and I've already begun that.
Okay, Brett's going to do some covers. Okay. Yeah, I like having him back. I mean, he does really good Spawn covers. Because I know J. Scott Campbell is known for drawing like really good-looking women on covers, but he makes Spawn look good-looking. Yeah, Greg Capullo. That's awesome.
Here's one. Write this one down.
I knew it was going to be Donny Cates.
I just got the phone with Donny not long ago.
I knew it.
I have a bit of a surprise up our sleeve, so get ready. Donny Cates and Todd McFarlane going to team up and do something cool.
God dang it, Donny Cates. Why are you writing all my favorite things? You better do a good job on Spawn, dude.
Mike Del Mundo.
Oh, I love Mike's art.
Not only a guy who can pencil, but also paints his own pages.
Dude, so we're getting 4 monthly Spawn books. So here's the thing. Literally, my pull list at the comic shop I go to here, it dropped down at one point for like 3 months, just Spawn. I was just buying 3 covers of Spawn for 3 months. Because every issue comes out, there's 3 different covers. So I'm just like, give me all 3 covers. $10 for 3 copies of Spawn, and I'll get all the variants. Dave Finch, all right. So I really love
Kevin Keane.
Kevin Keane.
I don't think most of you are probably familiar with. I think he's going to be a star.
I really love the character, and it was the only book I was collecting for a while during the pandemic.
Alex Kopp. Alex Kopp is a writer that I think will bring a sensibility.
So yeah, this is neat. There's a lot of names here. A lot of names.
I can't write everything, and I don't even consider myself to be that great of a writer. Puppeteer Lee. Comic book painting artist.
Cool name. I don't know if I know Puppeteer's artwork. That's crazy. That's a cool name, Puppeteer Lee.
Sean and I have been sort of working together.
Good luck, Spawn fans. Yeah, I know we got Donny Cates on Spawn. Oh, God, kill me, man. It's like he watches my show and he's just trolling me.
Myself, right?
Yes, Todd, all right.
Penciling, inking, all the things I've been doing for the last 30 years and doing as much as
Del Mundo and Spawn can be sick. Yeah, that's a good match there.
As I possibly can. Ben Oliver, a great.
I love Ben. Are you kidding me?
Again, one of the best in the world. Trying to get him to also do some interior pages.
Ben's awesome.
Steven Segovia, another X-Men alum.
Yeah.
He knows how to do a bunch of people on the page, and I've seen some of his early work.
That's cool.
Magnificent. Paulo
Sakura, yeah.
He's, again, another team book guy, done work at Marvel. And
yeah, you need that. I mean, it sounds like they're building the Spawnverse, and I like that they're just calling it Spawn's Universe. Just cut right to the chase, right?
Take a look at what he puts up on his Instagram.
Yeah, look at that. That's a good image right there of Wanda and Vision.
But he's also done a lot of work in the past, and he's going to jump on board. That is but
a
handful, a sampling of the number of people that are coming on the book, and I promise you that
please bring Paul Jenkins back. Please bring Paul Jenkins. Creators added just this week. Paul Jenkins did some crazy stuff. Oh, good. Jason's coming back. Good. Jonathan Clapion. All right. Sean Gordon Murphy. Frank Quietly. What? Oh, yeah, good. That Mark Vestry, my old boss. That's awesome.
Mark it down. The year of Spawn. There will be the intro book, Spawn's
Universe,
and then we roll out the monthlies. So there will be Spawn, the ongoing book that we've got.
Okay, Spawn.
Issues of.
What else we got?
There will be King Spawn, the first Spawn #1 that you'll be able to buy.
King Spawn.
Years. We're going to have Gunslinger.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Oh, that's so good.
The team book, a book I'm calling The Scorched. And the reason it's Scorched, because every one of those characters has been burnt at some point. You're going to see characters
The Scorched.
The Gunslinger.
That's cool.
Spawn.
Yeah.
Medieval Spawn.
Yes.
And if you're going to have a character from hell.
Yes. Got to have a Redeemer.
You're going to have somebody from heaven.
Yeah.
You're going to have the Redeemer.
Awesome.
And then you're going to have all the standby bad guys.
Yep.
You're going to create a bunch of new ones. And so
they've been dumping out a lot of new villains and characters since issue 300.
3 of them will turn into monthlies and the ongoing Spawn book. A book a week.
A book a week! Oh my God, I'm so happy.
In 20 years from now,
God, I'm so happy.
We'll be looking back on remember when that began.
This is great news.
I can't do it without those talented people. And from the bottom of my heart, I want to thank you.
Wow. Wow, guys. Okay, let me go back and unshare this now. Let me remove that. Whoa. Okay, so someone mentioned toys earlier, and Israel, you threw me way off because he doesn't mention toys at all in that. Maybe he has another post later where he's talking about the toys, but 4 monthly Spawn books. Like, you know what's so funny is I swear to God in one of my videos when issue 300 came out, or maybe right around there, I made a video on Spawn, and I said, man, if Spawn just came out every week, my toy just fell. My McFarlane Batman toy just fell. Echo, you gotta knock it off, buddy. My shelf is too close to my couch because there's very little room over there. So when Echo jumps up on the couch, it'll knock a toy over usually. So yeah, I gotta space that out a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, I think I said, I was like, man, if Spawn came out every week, I would be so happy. Seeing that now they're going to do that, and it's going to be like other Spawns, is much better, because they used to do spin-off books before. They had Spawn, they had a Curse of the Spawn, they had the Spawn the Undead, which was like the Paul Jenkins, was like a bunch of one and dones, which was really good. They had the Sam and Twitch series. Like there was a lot of, and all those books are really good. Like I really like all of them. I have the fan edition 3-issue miniseries where it was it was kind of like a Viking Spawn. Yeah, it was a Viking Spawn. So I hope he comes back. I know there's Medieval Spawn and Gunslinger Spawn, She Spawn. But I mean, I've been loving the book. And when they brought Jim Downing in and he replaced Al for a while, I was really invested in that story. Even though it was a really slow burn, it dragged out a little too long. I felt like if they cut that story in half, it would have been the perfect length. But still, overall, I really liked it, and I liked how it ended. And Al came back, and then Al literally scorched Earth all the way straight to hell to fight Satan himself, and for the soul of Wanda and everything, and then took control of his power. And since issue 1 of Spawn, at the back of the book, there's these 4 sets of numbers, and they were counting down. Counting down. There was 9999, and then they counted down until it reached 0. And in issue 300, he finally hit all 4 zeros, and we were like, "Oh my God, that's it! He's dead!" And he we're like, "What happened?" We just see the numbers at 0, and then he stands back up and kills Violator, and you're like, what the hell is going on? And then at the very end of the book, it ticks up and it goes 1. And now it's counting back up to max power. So I don't even know like what McFarlane has planned for all this, but I really do like what he's been doing with the character. And he's been bringing in a lot of new characters. He resurrected a lot of the old villains and made them kind of zombies that Spawn is in complete control over, which is pretty cool. Like Cygor, I think, is one of them, and Overkill and Freak. And these are all characters that used to be a constant pain in the ass for Spawn, and now he has almost complete control of them. Jim Downing's back in the book, and he's like this other entity that can also control the zombified creatures, and he's working on something for Al, but they like butt heads a lot and stuff. And like, I'm really digging everything that's happening. And so I was hoping they were building something big, because I saw McFarlane a couple times refer to the recent books as the Spawn verse. And now I see why, which is pretty great. To be honest, why are people buying comic books when it's like $1,000 and when you can read comic books on the internet? So I don't like to illegally read things, Shadow Killer, and I don't like that in my comment section. I support artists on this channel, and I encourage other people to do it. Will I pay $10 for a comic book? Not often, I won't. But Spawn is $2.99 every month. It's still consistently the cheapest book on book stands every month. I could literally buy all 4 of these, one cover of each of these, and only spend $12 plus tax. So I can show up once a month to my comic store, get all 4 of these books for less than $15. And usually when you have a pull list at a comic store, they'll give you like a 10% discount. So it probably still would come to like 12 or $13. So for me, $13 a month for 4 Spawn books is, and I'm assuming that's the price, is going to be $2.99 for all of them. And I hope that's the price. I know Todd really is a stickler for keeping it at $2.99 the best he can. And in an industry that is like making $6.99 comics, I agree. It gets really nasty. There's always alternatives. If a comic book comes out and it's too expensive for me, I wait till Comixology puts it on sale. And sometimes you can get whole graphic novels on Comixology for $5 or less, sometimes $3 if they're Marvel graphic novels. So to me, I mean, I know that's not like, supporting them in the way they want to be supported. They would love me to buy their books at full price, but if I can't afford it, I can't afford it. But I will never read a comic book for free. That is disgusting behavior, and I don't like pirating stuff. As someone who's made comics, as someone who's worked in movies, I've never been a fan of people who bootleg the stuff. I really don't like it. And unfortunately, I've lost friends because of arguments over that kind of stuff. They're just like, well, I like, just bootlegging them and watching them whenever I want. Like, screw these companies. That, they shouldn't get my money. And I'm like, yeah, I understand some corporations are evil corporations, but if you don't support it with money, it doesn't keep going. So like Spawn, I don't want it to stop. So I've been buying every issue for 20 years now, in print, like in the print copy. And I own graphic novels of most of those issues and the digital graphic novels as well. So I own multiple versions of every Spawn thing. And I don't know. I understand some people can't afford comics, and some people live in other countries where they don't have access to it. So I'm not speaking on their behalf. They have a different circumstance than I do. But here, I try my best to support stuff. I don't like illegally watching or reading things. No, with Crate, you'll get super mega cool Edgelord Spawn. Yeah, I'm kind of wondering what book he'll be on. I'm going to guess he's going to probably be part of the Spawn Universe #1 book, but I hope he's not writing Gunslinger Spawn. That's all I care about. If he wants to write the team book, The Scorched, then I'd be down for that. But I don't know if I want to read Gunslinger Spawn by Donny Cates. But watch, that's going to be the one he does, I'm sure. I just got the email for his new line. Oh, wait. So there is a line? Let me check my email. Because I'm on his mailing list too, I think. Maybe in my other email. Let me. So there is some new Spawn toys, huh? I'm sure some websites covered it, so let me just go and look at, here we go, Tons. Nope, that's not it. That's his figure, the one that was kickstarted, was nominated for Toy of the, was nominated for Toy of the Year already. It's not even, I don't even have it in my hands yet. Todd McFarlane talks to Bleeding Cool about Spawn's, what is this? About Spawn's universe. Okay. So here, let me share this. Maybe here's an article we can read too. Let me go back to your comments. It's got Spawn Universe #1 in the email. Okay. I'll have to look. Thank you, Stephen. I appreciate that. Well, Todd has really brought into the copying and pasting past successes and changing the titles. Bought into just copy and pasting past successes and changing the titles. I don't know if I mean, what do you mean by that? Don't speak ill of Todd McFarlane on my channel, motherfucker. All right, let's see what we got here. Let's see if I can share this. We'll stop sharing that. And then we'll share a new tab. We'll go to this Bleeding Cool article and see what it says. I don't see anything on the toys yet, so we'll read this article and then we'll go there. Let me see how it looks. Loading. Here we go. Did I miss the news? What's up? Badly drawn Kyle. No, you're good. I think, well, yes. So you kind of the 4 new Spawn comics, or 3 new Spawn comics that are coming out. So every week there will be a Spawn comic starting, I guess, in a couple months. So yeah, and he announced a bunch of people that are going to be working on those books. So that was the main news, but I guess there's some toy news. So if you today, Todd McFarlane announced Spawn's Universe, a one-shot comic coming in June. Okay, with Jim Chung that will spin our 3 new ongoing series, which is King Spawn, Gunslinger Spawn, and Scorch. You know, King Spawn sounds more like a Donny Cates book than any of the other ones. I know Gunslinger. I just hope he's not doing guns. I love Gunslinger Slinger Spawn. But King Spawn, that sounds like a Donny Cates book right there. But if he writes that or the Scorched, that's okay. I'm not worried. A new title every 2 months through 2021. So every 2 months they'll add a new #1 until there's a full 4 books a month. He talked to me earlier this week about what he's doing and why he's doing it. We talked with Todd last year when he broke the news he was starting a Spawn superhero team called the Chain Gang. Now we get to see one of the other shoes dropping. Todd has a lot to say, and he began following up on our conversation from last year. So yeah, the Chain Gang story that ended recently, leading up to the Omega Spawn stuff that they're doing right now, which has been really fun. Some of those are all important to get the retailers together, and I'm going to drop my news that I'll do my best to get them enthusiastic about it, but I think that everybody is going to underestimate what's in my head because it's too easy to think of what I'm announcing as a comic story, period, but that's not what's in my head. What's within my head is way beyond comic books. The question is, DC started their universe in the 30s and Marvel started theirs in the 60s. Can anybody else do it in the 2020s? That's the question I'm asking, and I'm going to probe it as best I can. Here we go. Spawn 1. It looks like She Spawn on the cover there. All these ads. I hate the navigating the websites. Sometimes they just have ads. What I'm plan is not, hey, comics, is that cool? I hope they work. It's an attempt at seeing whether lightning can strike a third time. You and I will come back in 20 years and we'll see whether I was overexcited or whether I underestimated myself. But what should happen is that these new books should be new characters and storylines and villains and everything else that then spring out into their own books and their own ideas. And what starts with maybe a dozen or 15 new characters and ends up being hundreds, done right in the future, should be thousands of characters. Not all worthy of their own book, not all worthy of a TV show or a movie or a video game. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is that each one of them should be able to basically expand and do what spawned the original Spawn. So there were 20 books with 20 characters 20 years from now. They're up to issue 300, and that are equally worthy as Spawn is. And oh, by the way, they're all live in the same universe. That's interesting. So basically he's saying, oh, look at that Jim Chung artwork on drawing angels and stuff. That's cool. So basically he's saying, all right, so I created Spawn years ago, and he's 300 issues later and has broke out all these other little things. Now I want to just focus more on, okay, we're going to do a Gunslinger book, and then maybe he'll have a book that lasts like 12 issues or 2 years or something like that, but we'll introduce characters in his book that will then maybe get their own miniseries or spin-off books, and that's kind of his hope, I guess, is that he wants something to just keep growing. They had spin-off books before, like Violator, Angela, Hellspawn, Sam and Twitch, Medieval Spawn, Boof Boof and the Bruise Crew. I didn't mention that, but some books I mentioned earlier. Todd says, yeah, I created a bunch. Arguably, you're right. A bunch of them have been pre-created because I had years and years of designing them in the toys. The next step is taking some of those and giving them stories and origins and conflicts that people will care about. More importantly, though, you know that Spawn is at the center of all of this. As time goes by, he should be less and less important to the success of it if I do my job right. Because I'm going to be asking a lot of creative people to jump on board as we begin and keep going and growing and getting them to join the party. And so I can create a playground where it's conducive for people to come and bring their ideas, for them to create their venoms and be equally compensated and rewarded for that. That's very cool. As we move forward, can a band of creative independents take on the big guys in the long run? I don't know. We'll see. I've been going at it my own, but with Image, I've been getting some help because we've got a nice team on the toy front. It's been sort of me going solo, but I've been able to navigate the shark-infested waters and survive during the pandemic, which is true. His Kickstarter set records, like he says. We just won Toy of the Year with it. Oh, congratulations. I did vote for that, by the way, so I'm glad they won Toy of the Year. And Spawn has gone up anywhere from 100 to 800% in sales during that pandemic, which is true. Anytime he releases a Spawn figure, or when he did the Kickstarter or the comic book sales, like, they just aren't dropping. And it's awesome. And there's not even a movie out right now. There's talks of a movie, but that's still impressive that the comics are still seeing that kind of success. It's not doing okay. It's not doing okay. It's thriving. And if you look at the sales chart, Spawn is now a top 5 book, which basically means it's outselling 90% of my competitors' books. They have billions at their disposal and resources that I'll never be able to imagine. So why do we sit here in the year 2021 and assume that we're all going to see 2 years of magnitude for the rest of our natural lives? I'm not willing to give them that free pass, and I'm betting I can find other creative people that are willing to join me in the creative fight. I mean, he's got a point. Like, started, it was about creative, felt underappreciated, felt like their names weren't helping sell the books. And although these characters are what we love most, than anything, sometimes we will drop a book if there's a bad creator on it, and we will certainly pick up a book if there's a good creator on it. And sometimes we'll pick up characters because the creator we like is on it. And that's the power of some of the people that work on these books. So I admire them, I always admired that about Image, was a bunch of people who were like, hey, we're worth more than this. And they went and proved it. And so I'm glad that now, all these years later, McFarlane saw this resurgence in Spawn and all these people that still love the character. And he's like, you know what? We are like, we can be pumping out stuff that's this quality or this good on a consistent basis and challenge the big guys. And it's true. I mean, Image has been, they always say the big 2, Marvel and DC, but Image has been the third one ever since Walking Dead became a phenomenon. It was in the beginning when it first started, but then it kind of died down a little bit in the late 90s, picked back up again in the early 2000s with Walking Dead. So this is great. I mean, I like to see this kind of passion from him. Let me go back to your comments. I'm sorry. Let's see. We got Steven says it's Spawn Universe #1 in the email. Yeah, I haven't. I'll recheck my email. Did I miss the news? Yeah, we already. All right. So I guess I'm pretty caught up. Just more of the same. DC, everyone a Batman, Marvel, everyone is a knockoff version now. Multiple Spawns. But here's the thing: is like all these Spawns existed before. Like the Spider-Man stuff, a lot of those were newer characters that they created, and I like a lot of the new ones. I like Miles, I like Spider-Gwen, and they brought back like Spider-Woman and what's her name, Madam stuff. And I'm more invested in the Spawn universe. And these characters have been around. Medieval Spawn's been around since the early issues of Spawn. He was in the first toy wave that came out. Gunslinger Spawn was created around issue 176, I think. I'm blanking on the name of the artist. Is it Dave something? I can't remember. There's a She Spawn. First it was Priest, Jessica Priest, but then I think it became Nyx, who was like this girl that was hanging out with Spawn like around the issue 130 marker and upwards, and then she became a She Spawn. So he really bring them back in. I understand what you're saying. It's like a trend thing that's happening a lot with Spider-Man and Venom and Batman with multiverse stuff and multiple versions of them. I mean, sure, that's not a new thing in comics, but it is something that they haven't really touched on too much in Spawn before. Gunslinger Spawn never met Al Simmons until recently. And then and same with some of the other ones. Like Spawn, I think met Medieval Spawn, but it was like briefly. And I know Medieval Spawn met Witchblade, which is like a crossover they did. I don't know. For me, I get what you're saying, and I don't disagree on the surface that it's like, oh, this is what other companies are doing. I'm doing it too. But I also think it's, if you've read the whole run of Spawn, you'll see that they've done a lot of ideas in that book. And one of the things they haven't really done is like a team of Spawns. That's not been done before, because most of the Spawns, they're like Ghost Riders. Like they exist they exist in different time periods. So it's neat to see them all now in one time period. And Gunslinger Spawn I really like, because they're really playing up the fish out of water story with him. He like holds up in this like house in like the suburbs, and he's just like hanging out waiting for Redeemer to show up. And like, what the hell? They're like, yeah, I got that. It's some weird thing. It's some weird devices in the kitchen. Like, I don't know what they are. So I kind of like his outlook. Like he's like kind of this fish out of water thing. But yeah, it's not like, I guess, super original on some level, but what they've been doing with it in the book recently has been really fun. And so if they're going to use this as a stepping stone to create like a weekly Spawn book, so every week a different book, I'm on board for that, because I'm happy to drop Marvel books and DC books. Like I think I read like 2 or 3 books from each company now, and not even on a regular basis anymore. Like I read Venom and Spider-Man and Daredevil from Marvel. And then I buy Immortal Hulk when it goes on sale on Comixology. Whenever the newest trade goes on sale, they usually drop to me the trade. It's not going to want to pay it at full price. Just can't afford these books and at their $5 price points. So I get what like Shadow Killer's saying here. Like he says, sorry, I can't get comic books because of a lot of money on eBay. That's the thing is, I know when I say like, oh, I don't like pirating and all that stuff, I understand there are people out there who don't have a choice to some extent, because they want to read those stories, but they don't have access to it. They don't have any access to it besides going to like and I saw some creators going like, that's BS. There's the internet. You can find, and it's like, do you not know how the internet works? There's sometimes regional blocks and stuff that prevent people from having access to things and watching certain movies in their country and all this other stuff. It's like, so there is an air of privilege there. But for me, I understand that it's not easy for everyone. But I'm saying for the people who can afford and get their entertainment and pay for it, I think they should, to support these people who work really hard on them. And I don't those people illegally downloading stuff. I understand some people though don't have a choice because they're in other countries. I'm glad you like Todd McFarlane. I like him too. The guy needs to take a damn day off though. Every time I go to his Instagram, he's announcing new figures, new toys, like new comics today. Like this guy never sleeps. He's always working. It's the running joke with my mom. She was like, which toys came out this month or came out today, she says. Because it's like, yeah, that's what happens. He just drops like stuff all the time. He's like, oh, here's a new Bane series, it's out. And then, oh, here I have a series of Injustice figures coming out in April. It's a Flash and Gorilla Grodd. And I'm like, oh, cool. And he's like, oh, we're also going to release Batman Beyond in April. And you're like, what? And he goes, oh, and then we also have Bizarro and like John Stewart, Green Lantern, and then we have like a what is it, like a Jokerized Nightwing. He's like, those are coming out too, and you're just like, dude, get some rest. Yeah, he's awesome. He's a great artist. Is that T-shirt from the original Day the Earth Stood Still film? Unfortunately, it's not from the original. The original is my favorite movie of all time. This is from the really crappy remake. I got this at Comic-Con the year it came out. So I've had this shirt for a long time because they were here it is right here. 12/12/08. That was the release date of the remake. So the Comic-Con of 08, which was in July of 08, that's when I got this. And they were handing them out at the booth at the whatever studio made the remake. I don't like the remake at all. The original though is my favorite movie. So I figured since it had this on the shirt, I'm like, okay, I when they were like, hey, we're giving out free shirts for Day the Earth Stood Still, and I'm like, I'll take it. It's my favorite movie of all time. I don't care that you're advertising the remake. I'll take it. I am glitching. Oh, okay. It could just because we have the article still up. He needs more work and get the license for Marvel figures. No, he does not need more work for that. He needs to focus on DC figures and Spawn figures. I mean, I would love for him to make a Venom figure and some other Marvel characters, but I don't know how good their relationship is. I'm sure as everyone's gotten older, they've kind of calmed down. Sometimes that happens, but sometimes grudges thicken too. So I don't know. I don't know what his. I know he was really close to Stan, but I don't know how close he is to the people that work at Marvel. But I know he has a good relationship with the people that work at DC, at least from the toy side. And I'm sure he's making them money because these toys are freaking awesome. And yeah, during the pandemic, like his business thrived. His Kickstarter thrived during a time when most people didn't have money, and his toy line thrived. So he did not feel the effects of the pandemic in any way. Like his comic book sales went up. Like, so that's power. That's the power of that franchise. And so that's why even when I tell people, even if you don't like Spawn, you can't deny that level of power, that what that character means to people, even people who haven't read the book in years. A lot of them came back with issue 300 and they've been staying on board, and it's been great. Like, I've been really liking the book. Because back then I was just putting out comic books and it was fun. There was no organized plan, but now I'm a 30-year vet of the comic industry and being a businessman, and this is different. This is an organized plan for me. Indeed, he compares what he is doing now to the foundation of Image Comics itself. McFarlane goes on to say, I'm trying to get my own employees to understand this is a bigger moment for me than starting my toy company. Because if we come back in 20 years and I've done what I think we can do, then this is the moment that we're going to go, wow, remember when we just started that thing in 2021 and we just thought it was like this cool monthly comic idea, and it was sort of fun and it was bigger than that? That's what's in my head. The comic book start is the beginning, but it's just the beginning of my evil, devious plan. Awesome. I like the Jim Chung artwork. But as for the comics part of it, Spawn being sharing a lot of his pages with other characters for the last year, and the story is big enough that I need to push those characters out and give Spawn his own book back. So that's my big thing. I really like what he's been doing in Spawn, and he's definitely building something with Al. But some of the, like, Gunslinger Spawn and Al, like, they butt heads, like I said. Or not Gunslinger Spawn, Jim Downing and Al, they butt heads. And there's a reason they butt heads, but in some of the books, they don't do a good job explaining it, because you're like, well, I know, if you know the history of those two characters, you know why they would butt heads. But for new readers, you kind of need a little bit more. And I feel like that's where some of the writing hurts these books, is that there is a lot of characters in Spawn's title. So hearing that is nice, because that means they can finish this story. They can finish the setup for what's, that McFarlane wants to do. And then they can go back to doing stories that are Al focused and focus on his role now his role as this, like, the center of this new universe. And I love that, man. That's so awesome. I mean, Spawn's always been the center of my universe in a lot of ways. So it's good to see that that's going to be happening with this. So be sure, like, I'll probably do Spawn reviews when those books come out. I'll probably do monthly reviews of those books for you guys. No doubt about it. All right. So yeah, McFarlane likes to talk. So I'm going to just let it sit for a minute. But we got Cogliostro. Looks like he's coming back. He's going to be part of the plan. All the people that we got coming in: Art Adams, Sean Alexander. We already went all over these with the video. I can't believe they got Frank Quietly, probably doing some covers. Look at that splash page there. That is cool. All right. So yeah, it's all right. So now we need to look up McFarlane's toys. So I guess there is something is lagging. I thought it was just on my end. It probably was that thing, or it could be my internet. That could be it too. Sorry. It's loud. Hopefully it's not too bad. I'm so sorry. Hello, Superior Venom. What's up? I see McFarlane. What up? I finally have the infected Superman figure. I really want to build the Merciless. Nice. I'm going to pass on those ones. On all the evil Batmans from the different universes. I bought Batman Who Laughs because I just he came with that Batmobile part. So I bought Batgirl and Nightwing, but I was missing the part for the Batmobile. So I had to buy him. So that was the only reason I bought him, was so I could make that little Batmobile. But I really didn't want any of those characters. But they do look cool. The figures look amazing. Gonna go read comics on the internet when the stream ends. Okay, awesome. Enjoy. So let me see if I can find the toy news. So, because I didn't get the email. Let's see. Because I think I'm on their press contact, but it's been a while since I've seen an email. So that's why I'm checking my spam folder too. All right. Look on. Let's go to his Instagram. Let's see if he shared images or anything. Oops. Oh, great. My computer froze. Oh, dang. Okay, there it is. Okay, good. I was like, oh, we're done. Something's happening. Oh, whoa. Okay. All right, StreamYards, you're acting weird. There we go. All right, let me minimize this. All right. Nothing. What's this? I got him. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second. No, that's not it. I thought someone sent me a link in a message. I was like, oh, someone sent me a link maybe. Nope. Well, all right. All right, well, I can't find anything on the toys, unfortunately. Just like Todd McFarlane Spider-Man artwork. Yeah, he's got some good stuff. Favorite episode from the original G1 Transformers? Why do you do this every time, Skullman? Like, you it's like we're not here talking about Transformers. So let me go through and let me see if I can find the toys. Yeah, sorry, man. I'm not in a Transformer zone right now. I have a very one-track mind. If you guys haven't noticed, like when I talk about a topic, I like to stay on topic because I'm easily distracted. And so if someone sees the title of this video as McFarlane News or Big Spawn News, I want them to come here and only get that. And if I make a video called DC Animated Fan Commentary, I only want people to come there and get that. So it just helps me compartmentalize everything. So yeah, so sorry. I'm sorry, man. I'm not answering Transformer questions right now. All right. And I'm trying to find some news on the Spawn toys, but I don't see them. So maybe we'll make another video at some point if I can't find them. It looks like no one's covering the news. Like nobody is. Because when I go to even latest news trends, they talk about Spawn Universe, but nothing else. Actually, the only article that's up right now is the Bleeding Cool one, which we already discussed. So, yep. Announces launch new comics. Yeah. So okay. So they're just covering that information, and then yeah, there's nothing about the figures right now. I'm sure that stuff will come out later, but well, I'll have to cover it later. You only want Merciless and Devastator? Okay. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Okay, sweet. And since I'm lagging too, it, like I said, could be just an internet issue. I'm starting to see it now, the lag. So we're going to end this stream here in a second. Favorite episode from, oh yeah, sorry, I'm skipping that. I just like Todd McFarlane Spider-Man artwork. Yeah, me too. I love his stuff. Favorite street and Eddie. Yes. Favorite street shark. Repulsors. God damn it, Shadow Killer. Do you think Keith David would live action Spawn? Do you think he's too old? Great luck. If you had like the movie open with someone narrating, like someone who's older, and you're like, who is this guy? Why is he narrating? And then at the end of the movie, you reveal that it's like Spawn, like 50 years from now or something. That could be really cool. Actually, that would be a neat thing. Kind of like there was a young Indiana Jones where it's off with going out or something, and I think Harrison Ford was there. And it goes and tells a story. I think it's the final episode of Young Indiana Jones, and you have Sean Patrick Flannery who plays Indiana Jones, and he does that, and then at the end. So yeah, a little side rant there, but tying it back to Spawn, yes, I think that would be a cool thing to have them bookend like a movie or something. That could be cool. So who is this guy? And at the end of the movie, he comes out, but the war is over. He looks up and he's like, and then, and it's someone yells like, "Ow, help!" And then just, the mask comes over and, so no, I think for a few minutes of a film like that, no, I don't think he's too old for that. He's so badass, Keith David. He's so badass. Well, McFarlane figures are really dope. I never thought see me buying DC figures my entire life. Oh man, they're so good though. And I think that they're 7 inches tall. Like his approach to that is really great. His Mortal Kombat figures, I think, are 7 inches. And basically his approach is, all right, so the standard for figures at one point were like G.I. Joe. Like, well, there was like big dolls at one point, but then they went to like 3/4 inch, now with Star Wars and G.I. Joe and stuff. And then they went into like 5-inch figures and then the 6-inch figures, which is where we've been for like 20 years now. And I think he's just like, it's time, man. Like we need an average. Like I know NECA and a couple other companies do 7-inch figures, which is cool. But yeah, it's like these are icons. Like Mortal Kombat, these are iconic characters. DC, these are iconic characters. They need to stand taller than the competition. And I love that. I love that mentality. I got to go. Have a good one. Even though Fortnite he does look great. I know, and I hate Fortnite and Warhammer, but those figures look amazing. They do. They look amazing. I know the Spawn show. Super says the Spawn figure with the sword is a masterpiece, kind of. The Spawn figure, yeah. So I have, like I said, the Kickstarter figures. They're on their way to me. They sent an email to me today that said, "Hey, check your spam folder. If you got an email in your spam from us, that you aren't going to get your toy anytime because they got held up overseas shipping to the US. But they did a crate that came in last week that they're unloading right now. So they're like, so if you don't get an email from us, I mean, yours is probably on that crate and it's coming to you." So I didn't get a spam email from them. So it looks like I'm actually might get my figure in the next couple weeks from them. So I ordered 2 figures. I ordered the classic old school one that they redid and the new issue 300 design one. So I have both, one with the Al Simmons head and one with the Spawn head. And then I think Hamburger, like a replacement one. So wait, when those, I'm definitely going to do it for you guys. So excited for those. But yeah, it looks like I'm having a bad stream. Looks like I'm getting a lot of glitching. Maybe this is just not a good time to do streams for me. Or maybe I need a hard wire in from the internet because maybe I'm just having a bad connection right now. So I'll learn from this experience and I'll do better next time. We will do a live stream tonight. Me and Alex, we're going to watch Batman Ninja. So if you want to hang out with us, we're going to start in about 2.5 hours. And we'll start the movie then, and then we'll watch. I think it's like an hour and 40 minutes total. So we'll watch it together. You won't put it on screen. You'll just see him and Alex. But if you want to watch along with us, please do. It's going to be a lot of fun. And everyone else who's in here, thank you so much. Thanks for the feedback. Thanks for the comments. And yeah, I'm sorry. Like I sometimes I know I snap at people with that, but I do have a one-track mind when it comes to things. If I make a video on a certain topic, I like to stay on that topic. And it's something like last week, Alex, we ran, we kind of let it get away from us. I want to do 10-minute intros for those DC things. And then, hey, why don't you Transformer movies? And don't do that to me. Do it, because here's the reason why. 2 reasons. One, if fans or viewers or anyone out there who are fans of this stuff, they want to come to it and just hear about that thing, that's what they want to hear Spawn news. They just want to talk about DC stuff. Like, most people have a one-track mind when it comes to that stuff. If we do Seek and Destroy streams, those can be AMAs, or pretty much Ask Me Anythings. So I'll try to do at least one of those every 2 weeks for you guys, so that way we can scratch that itch and I can just open it up to all questions. But for the most part, I like to just keep things focused, because also sometimes when you cover, like if I cover DC news, right now I'm on their mailing list for DC animated stuff. So they send me things to like talk about sometimes. And I want, when they watch it, I want them to see, okay, he stayed focused. He just talked about our stuff. He did a good job at it. We'll continue to send him stuff like that. So I have to do those things so that way I'm not talking DC and then all of a sudden I go on a 10-minute conversation. Then they're going to go, why are we sending this guy DC stuff if he's just going to talk about Transformers? So I just want you to see it from my point of view. I snap at people about it. I don't mean to be. I just it's my knee-jerk reaction is, don't ask me those questions. But I'll get better at. I just want you to let me explain it now, so that way you know why I get like that. So let me stop by at Street Shark Answer. You son of a bitch. You bastard, Eddie. I know the Hellbat infected in Batman Flashpoint. I have 2 of those. I did not infected because I'm waiting for Bizarro. I'm definitely going to do that. But thank you, Eddie's Mullet. We'll end on a joke. Eddie says he's going to come back for the Street